Hi there, Rosalie. Joe Kahn here, pastor of the Rosalie Baptist Church. Easter is one of the most precious and deeply moving times for us as a church, and normally we love to commemorate this sacred time by coming together, breaking bread, singing and sharing the message of Easter with one another. But this year, Easter will be very different. In fact, this year, everything seems different. I don't have to tell you how the global pandemic has changed our lives, because we're all in the midst of living it. And we're pretty much just making it up as we go along. But I reckon we have to admit that in our quieter moments, when we see the reports on the news, when several times a day the global death toll is being updated, there's probably a healthy dose of fear. And this is only normal and natural for us. If we're not struck by our own mortality when we see refrigerated trucks being used as makeshift morgues in the biggest and most famous city on earth, there's probably something wrong. Add to that the virtual shutdown of our society, the loss of industry, the loss of jobs, the loss of livelihoods, and there are certainly plenty of reasons to be fearful of what is happening in the world. But the message of Easter, the story of Jesus Christ, is not a message of fear. It's a message of love. A love that can actually set us free from our fears. In the Bible it says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear." And so, as we approach Easter in this very different year, I want to take a minute to share with you how the perfect love of God can drive away our fear. See, the root of fear is uncertainty. If I'm uncertain about whether my job is secure, I'm going to fear the consequences of losing it. If I'm not sure that my partner loves me, I'm going to fear that they will abandon me. If I'm uncertain about how my health would hold up if I got sick with the virus, I'm going to fear the intense sickness and death that might come. Whenever we're not sure of something, that uncertainty easily gives way to fear. It's like the small child who's afraid of the dark. In the dark, their sense of sight is taken from them, and suddenly the world becomes far less certain. Things that were harmless and innocent and the like their wardrobe, a curtain flapping in the breeze or under their bed, become petrifying in the uncertainty of the dark. In many ways, we are all like that small child. We all freak out a bit when the world we know is turned upside down. Like that small child, we all need something that is certain to drive away our fears. And this is where the message of Easter can turn the proverbial light on for us. See, the Bible repeatedly makes the claim that God loves the world, and that he specifically loves the people of the world, that God loves us. But that's a claim we often question. We see the brokenness, chaos, pain and uncertainty around us, and we fear that if there is a God, he probably doesn't love us. And this is a valid fear. But it's a fear that Easter answers. The story of Easter is the story of a God who came not just to live in this world of brokenness, but to feel the full weight of it. Across the Easter weekend, we remember that Jesus Christ was betrayed by a close friend, falsely tried, beaten, mocked and scorned, and eventually brutally killed on a cross. All of this he did to prove the extent of his love for us. Jesus endured the brokenness of this world to show us how much he loves his people. Jesus proved that God loves us enough to die for us. And it's here that we find a cure to our fear. See, if I know that I'm loved this much by God, all of the uncertainty that once caused me to fear dissolves. I might lose my job, those I love might abandon me, or I might even stare death in the face. But because I know I am loved by a God who has gone through death for me, nothing can shake the foundation of my true security, because nothing can change the measure of his love for me. At Rosalie Baptist, we long for all people to know the secure love of God and the fear-free life of following Jesus. Now, unfortunately, you can't come to our building for Easter this year, but we're posting our Easter messages online. And I'd encourage you to go to our Facebook page on Friday and Sunday to hear more of the perfect love of God that casts out all fear. We hope that you can tune in. Happy Easter.